Hey guys, most of you, or at least some of you, have heard of fallout remover and maybe have wondered why it is important to the detailing world. Well, there are ferrous metals that may come attached to your clear coat, and in time, if they're not removed, will work their way in through the clear coat and cause damage to your paint. What are ferrous metals? Ferrous metals, basically iron, cast iron, stainless steel, and it's mostly iron with a little bit of other things mixed in. So on your car, there are areas that have concentrated ferrous metals, like in the area of your wheel and your wheel well. Your disc for disc brakes and your cylinders are made of ferrous metals. So when they're compressed, they're very strong, but they can also be brittle. Well, how can they be both? Well, they can be brittle in the fact that small microparticles will detach themselves from the disc on your disc brakes as they're being heated and cooled constantly. And the other parts down there, such as the cylinders. And they will come off in small particles, come out around your car, and attach themselves to the clear coat. Now, it's bad enough that it does that, but they are at a high temperature. Ferrous metals will melt at 1400 degrees. It may not be 1400 degrees when it finally comes up around and hits your car and attaches itself, but it will be hot enough to help with the process of attaching and working its way through eventually through your clear coat. So that's where something like this will come in handy. This is Revelation by Angelwax. It's a fallout remover. It is a very productive fallout remover. Luckily today I have a white vehicle in, and it's a commercial vehicle, which is perfect because it has a heavier brake system. It's a heavier vehicle, and that's what's needed to stop the vehicle. So there's going to be more ferrous metals coming up around, attaching themselves to the clear coat. It's even going to be hotter than a regular car, so this will be perfect, and I'll show you what it looks like. A lot of the times you won't even know the metals are there attached to the clear coat until you spray this stuff on there. Wait about 5-10 minutes, if that, and you can already see most of the removers will, pretty much all the removers, they'll turn purple as they break down those ferrous metals stuck in your clear coat. They'll break it down, and you'll see it running down the side of your car. So let's go take a look at the one I have pulled in. It's pre-washed. It's clean except for the ferrous metals that are attached to the clear coat. Let's go remove them. Alright, so we're going to use the Revelation by Angelwax. It's a dedicated fallout remover. Breaks down the ferrous particles, so you can either wipe off, wipe clean. You can also rinse, do a thorough rinse. But I just like to take an old wash mitt that I have set aside, a bucket of shampoo, and wash it off. Well, Revelation is a gel-like substance. It has to be evenly applied to whatever you're going to treat. For me, it's usually from the doorknobs down, from that height. And I want to get a nice thick layer evenly on the surface of the paint. And the gel-like substance, within time, breaks down the ferrous particles enough that it makes it water-soluble. So you can then rinse it off, wash it off, however you want to go about removing the gel after it's done its work. Now, after immediately being applied, as soon as I put the bottle down and go around to the other side, I will see speckles of red and maroon and purple running down. And that's the gel that has bonded itself to the sintered iron that's stuck on your clear coat and is changing its state, making it water soluble so you can remove it easily. The truck was freshly washed and clayed. You could not see any of the particles with the naked eye. It's only until applying the Revelation that you could see how contaminated it still was. And in turn, this is a great example as to why you should involve a fallout remover of some sort to your pre-wash routine. This back quarter was recently replaced, freshly painted, so I stayed away from that. Went straight to the tailgate. This is probably the worst part, the worst panel on the whole vehicle. There were vinyl stickers back here, a few of them. You'll be able to see a diamond-shaped one right about here, and there's one on the other side where the particles could not penetrate the vinyl decal, so it's perfectly clean there. You can see a pretty strict outline. This area right here surrounding the wheel well is usually the heaviest soiled on any car that you're going to use the fallout remover on. That's where you will see the heaviest breakdown of the ferrous metals. This front door here was also freshly painted, so we stay away from that, and we just jump to the front left fender. Now for removal, you can either just wipe it off, but like I said, it's a gel-like substance. My first choice is this right here, washing it off with a soapy mitt. A secondary mitt held separately, just dedicated just for this job right here. You don't want to use this anywhere else. It's going to have little particles broken down that are stuck in the little microfiber fingers, and you don't want to rub those on any other surface besides this one here that you're using it for. And this secondary method would be a thorough rinse. It also says in the bottle you can wipe with a wet microfiber, wipe it off. But like I said, it's a thick gel-like substance, and I like to either give it a thorough rinse, preferably with a power washer, or this method here. After breaking down the Revelation with some shampoo and a wash mitt, I like to give it a thorough rinse. On some of the heavier extended vans that were heavily soiled with the ferrous metals because of breaking under high temperatures under the weight, I will follow this process here up with another clay. But for this particular vehicle, we are finished with this step. I'm going to finish the rinse. I'm going to come in with forced air, dry it completely, and get on with the correction. This particular contractor likes to have the QP-on coatings to keep the trucks from getting splashed up cement or paint or whatever he comes in contact with. And in order to do that, I have to have the canvas perfect to put the art on. So that's the process. That's what fallout remover is and how it works, what it does. This is just an example of one. This is the Revelation by Angelwax. There are many good ones out there. I'm not saying this is the only one. I will put a link down below for this if you want to look into it. If you want to put in the comment box what you guys use, go right ahead. And if you have any questions on the process itself, the chemicals that help remove and break down the ferrous particles, go ahead and ask. I'm here for you guys. Till the next video, this is Brian from Apex Detail. Have a good one.